Hey everyone, and welcome back to our On the Map challenge here on Alma, Missouri. And we are kicking off episode 2 basically right where we left off in episode 1. It's the next morning, and we are about to take this wheat down to the elevator to get it sold. Just yesterday, we combined our first field ever on the Map challenge here in 25, and we cut some wheat, as you can see by the wagons. We didn't get much out of the field, but we got enough to sell. We're not going to keep it around at the farm. We just don't have enough of it to put in our bins, or no good in it sitting around in the wagons. So we're going to take it into town here this morning and get it sold. We've got these 2 wagons, and we've also got a little bit in the truck that we're going to sell as soon as we bring this down to the elevator. So we're going to make a little profit off of grain, and I guess we're going to jump straight into baling the wheat straw off the field. And we've also got to get the hay up that we made yesterday. So we're not slacking around today. It's going to be a pretty busy episode, and we're doing all this in preparation for fall harvest, which is going to probably be very successful at the very start of the On the Map challenge. So without further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get into this one. Alright, so like you heard in the intro, we're selling our wheat here. It's 9:40 in the morning, and we just let it sit in the yard overnight and just decided the price would be a little better today. So we woke up and jumped in the tractor, and now we're here at the elevator about to sell it. Pull up on the scale here real quick, check our weight, and we should be pretty good to go. Alright, now let's go on around to the, I think we're going to the farthest sell point down, and prices are not looking too hot right now, but, it's prime selling time, so usually we'd sell wheat in the wintertime, and we will later on, but we just didn't feel like putting 2 wagons worth and a little bit extra in the truck in the bins, I don't really see a purpose in even bringing the auger out for that. So we're going to pull up here, and this should be where we unloaded at. We'll see if we can start both of them at the same time. Alright, there we go. That's what we want right there. This one is selling. It's not over the pit, but hey, we're still making money. They are both here, and we'll see how much this makes us. Oh, I did forget to mention we already brought the truck down here. So the reason we had a little extra money was that was what was in the grain truck. We already sold what was in the grain truck. So I think we made about $13,000 from that, and then another $13,000 from this. So all right, sweet. Let's jump in here and check it out. So yeah, $26,000 from harvest income so far. All right, cool. Now we'll make our way back to the farm here and put these wagons up and start our next task at hand. The weather is supposed to be really nice today. I know it's a little cloudy right now, but it's supposed to warm up, be pretty sunny. And that means we'll get to throw the tedder on the field and probably bale tomorrow, because the hay is still a little wet to bale today. I don't think we'll get it up, but we can definitely bale our straw, which means we're going to break out the square baler. I'm very much so looking forward to that. Now that I've kind of had some time to sit and think on it, I'm really happy we saved some of our money and didn't keep buying fields, because we're going to have a ton of money to spend into the next year and even this coming winter, because we're going to need some little things like maybe a snow blower, because the last time we did the On the Map challenge, the snow here was pretty harsh. We couldn't keep up with it just cleaning it out with a skid steer or a loader. We had to have a snow blower, so we're probably going to be looking at one of those, and those are not very cheap, so we need some money for that, and then obviously some more little purchases here and there. But it feels good having some money in our bank account for whenever we need it. I think I talked about that in the last episode, just having some money for whenever you need something. And you know what, let's go all the way around to put these wagons up, actually. I like them being down there, but it's kind of awkward to get down there. And then right there's the grain truck. We just left it out, put some diesel in it because it was about half a tank, so we're going to fill it up for harvest time. I know it's a little early to be doing that, but we just ain't put it up yet, so it's still sitting out. We'll do that in just 1 second. And then try not to hit the fence. We'll bring this on around like that. A little bit smoother than I thought. I think I hit the fence last night bringing these in here. It was almost dark and I couldn't really see well. But there we go. Got the wheat sold, made about 26,000, I think that said, off of all of it sold. So, I mean, that's not the worst ever. I could definitely find other things to complain about. And then we'll stick the 4250 in the shed. We'll put it behind the combine for now, just in case we have to pull something else in here for later. And something else that I did not think about we need to buy is a trailer, either a flatbed or gooseneck trailer for the pickup truck so we can actually bring bales out of the field. Or, you know what, we do have that bale trailer, but I don't know if we can actually put, yeah, I'm sure we put round bales on it. We won't be able to stack a bunch at once, but we do have that, so we can use that for now, but I would like a trailer at some point. They're not very expensive, so I'm sure we could get away with a cheap little trailer and call it a day. Maybe not even a gooseneck, maybe just like a 20-foot bumper pull. Something like that would honestly be pretty nice just to have around the farm to haul equipment anyway. We'll stick this truck in its rightful shed over here. Careful not to take a post out while we back it in because I am a little bit of a clumsy driver. Alright, there we go. That was fairly easy. And so now I guess the only thing left to do is bale some wheat straw. I'm not particularly prepared, so let's get the equipment going. We're going to be using the New Holland square baler, but I don't really know what to use with it. I was thinking the Case Magnum, but that might be a little overkill for it. We need a smaller tractor, I would say. And what a better fit than the old Ford over here that's currently unused. Need to clean out some of the cobwebs on the seat before we climb up in this thing, but we'll give it a run for its money. Definitely see what it's going to perform like. I haven't even started it up yet. And check this road train out. We got a little bit of everything going on here. We got some reds, some yellow, some green, some blue. I don't think we're very brand loyal around these parts of the farm, so we can get away with stuff like this without getting yelled at. Now we'll just roll some coal on down the dirt road, hit our field. Now I was going to say our first field, but we only have one field of straw to bale up. And whenever we buy some calves, we'll have this stuff sitting in the shed and we can put it out for bedding whenever we feel like it. So this will do us some good, I feel like. And the calves will most likely be very happy to have some warm straw bedding. So we'll pull in the field here, get everything situated, which should not take long. We just got to unfold everything, get it working, then we should be able to set it down and turn it on and get to work. These windrows are not the neatest, so we have to be kind of careful. Like we have to run over a little bit of it to get it all in there because they're so wide, or either the pickup is so narrow. But we are putting out straw bales, and there's the first one up on the rack, so we are getting it done. It has been quite some time since I've ran a small square baler, so this is pretty slick. I do like this. And this little tractor's pulling this setup pretty nice. It's pulling it right along. I'm actually a little bit surprised with that. Well, I mean, I think this tractor does have like 130 engine horsepower, so, you know, that does add up, but it doesn't really look like it, does it? It only looks like it's got about 90 or so, but usually these TW20s have cabs on them, so maybe that's why it looks like a smaller tractor. At least that's what I would think. This corner could be very interesting here. Let's turn it right, try not to fling anything off the chute. We're hardly even missing anything now. I've kind of figured out how wide the pickup is. I'm learning as I go. Whoa. Oh, it's struggling up this hill a little bit though. Two-wheel drive tractor, I guess. Come on, you got it. Oh, maybe it's not pulling it quite along so good. Look at this. We're slipping. Oh, I think we got it. Come on, there you go. It gave it about all it's got right there up that hill. Holy. So maybe next time we do small squares, we should probably put the Magnum on here. Okay, note to self. Well, as long as the field's a little more flat, I think this tractor will handle it just fine on flat ground. Then do a little bit of open station camera point of view here. I think we're doing a great job so far. Have hardly missed anything. We got 11 square bales up there on the deck. Seems like a decent amount. We got 10% full on the wagon. So yeah, we're getting some bales made. I'm not sure how many of these equals one round bale, but I don't know if this is as much straw as I was thinking we'd get. Maybe it's about the same amount. I don't really know. But the baler's working good. The tractor's working decent so far. Everything seems to be working like I thought it would, so that is awesome. We never got any rain overnight last night, so I don't have to worry about moisture being a problem. I was a little worried about getting rained out, but nope, nothing, not even any. This morning, I have not checked about this afternoon and tonight, so it'd really suck if we tedded all that hay and then had some rain come in right after. So, but no, it looks like clear, sunny skies, except for right now. It is a little cloudy, but clear and sunshine for today as far as I know, so that's perfect weather conditions to get this stuff up. And it's also not too blistering hot outside, so it makes this less miserable. It is a little chilly outside for September 2nd. We got a 68 degree high for today. It's 60 outside right now, so it feels decent. It's a little bit of a breeze blowing, and it's not scorching hot, so I'll take that as a win for baling straw. And then for the spots we miss in the field, because there are a few here and there, we'll just plow it under with the cultivator, so no worries about that. It'll all get in the ground somehow, and I'm sure that some of this residue might actually help the ground a little bit, the soil quality, whenever we bury it, because it'll go under with all the stubble, because it technically kind of is stubble a little bit. It's just chopped up, so we're not really wasting anything. It's all going for a good cause. And then what does make its way into the baler will become bedding. So there you go. And even now I kind of feel like bringing the rake out here, would have made this job a little easier, but we probably would have gone about 4 miles an hour through the whole field because of how big the row would have been. But no, if we brought the rake out here, I feel like it would have been too much for this baler to handle, because it's pulling at a decent speed, but I feel like we're pushing out bales pretty quick with even just this row the way it is. So yeah, really glad we didn't rake these up, because we can get to about 8 miles an hour rolling downhill, and I mean, these bales are just flying out of the chute, it feels like. So, and then this should be pass around the field number 3, and then we can start going up and down the field. I think that'll be pretty interesting. We're gonna have to start skipping rows, because it's gonna be a lot of turning around and sharp turns. So skipping rows will make it a lot easier on us, but we'll do that as soon as we get to the end of the field here. And then we'll make a pretty decent sized turn so we don't jackknife. And then we can go straight right here and meet back up. Check it out. This is working a little too well for us. I feel like something's gonna break here soon or something. Better knock on wood. But yeah, this is nice. I really enjoy this. After not baling square bales for so long in the game, it just feels so nice to be out here doing this. I'm a round baler kind of guy. I love round bales. I feel like they're easier to, well, I won't say easier to stack, but they're easier to handle, I feel like. Or actually, I don't know, I guess you could really say that about both. Oh, and I also am talking about small squares, by the way. It's been even longer since I've done the big square bales, but those are pretty fun too. I like that. But for small squares, yeah, it's also been a little while since I've ran a setup like this, and I can't say that it's any less fun than running a round baler. I do like this a good bit. I think it's pretty satisfying watching that hay rack fill up. So yeah, it's a win. I can't really say anything bad about this at all. Alright, now we'll make another turn here. Again, try not to jackknife anything in the process. And there we go. This hill's kind of flattening out the farther out we go, but it is still struggling up this hill. I wonder why that is. And honestly, I can't tell if it's just because it's a two-wheel drive tractor, or if it's just this heavy, or I don't know, because we've got the tractor wide open on the baler, so I'm sure that's reducing some power, but I don't know. I really don't know. That's kind of interesting. And also, I didn't really think about this, but when we get back to the farm, I'm guessing we're just going to put the wagon in the shed until we need it, because I don't really want to unload all these bales by hand right now, which again strikes a problem. How are we going to get that hay up out of the field? I mean, both of the fields are relatively close to the farm, so we could just bring up 2 bales at a time with this tractor, but that gets a little old. I'd at least have to have, or I'd like to have, some kind of wagon or something to make it a little easier, less trips. But if all the square bales are on this wagon, we're probably going to need a trailer, or we can just buy a bumper pull trailer or something for our truck. I don't know. I'm getting too ahead of myself. we'll see. We might just drop these off in the shed, call it a day right now. I don't know. I'll see how I feel when I get out of the field. But right now, I'm having too much fun to think about that. So let's save that for later. I'll worry about it in a little while. And this right here should be the end of the headland passes. So now we'll just let's just turn down here and we'll connect the headland pass with this pass, something like that. There we go. Didn't have to turn around. Check that out. And then whenever we get down here, we can turn around and we'll skip a road. So we'll come right here, since we can't really, I mean we could, but it'd be a little annoying, I think, to turn real sharp and get this row one at a time. So we'll skip a row. We'll come right here. Trust me, you'll see what I mean when we get to the end of the field. It saves a whole lot of time and trouble. And we're already down a bell twine cartridge, or whatever you call it. So we're going to be needing to buy some of that soon too, to stock up on for hay season next year. But obviously we've got hay on the ground right now. I just don't think we're going to be square baling any of it, but that is something we could definitely look at. And I like to think of it this way, you know, if our round baler tears up, well, we still have something to get it out of the field. And if our square baler tears up, then we've still got something to get the straw or hay out of it. You see what I mean? We got a second alternative, and I do like that. So let's go ahead and get some of this straw out of the field, and I'll catch back up with you guys in just a little bit. I think I'm going to do the first passes up and down the field, and I'll meet back up with you guys whenever we've just got like this right here, where we're going to hit every other. So we'll be about halfway-ish done with the field then, and yeah, we'll get a little update, see how we're doing. Alright, I'll catch back up with you guys in just a second. Okay, so we're still chugging along here. It's only been a little while, and we've gotten all the every other rows finished, and now we're working on the rows that we skipped over, if you see what I mean. And as this wagon gets heavier, this tractor just wants to struggle more and more, but it is getting the job done. And it's actually a little dusty out here, so you know, that tells me whenever we make it back to the farm, we'll probably start to tether up and get some of that hay in the process of being made. But we have made a good 109 bales. We've gotten this entire part of the field here done, so this is what everything looks like without all the straw on it. And then obviously we've got this part of the field to finish up. So we are making it slowly but surely, and honestly at this rate I think we should be able to finish this field off without having to dump the wagon. So pretty excited to hear that. And we've gotten this stuff up actually really fast. I mean, I didn't think we'd get it up this quick, but you know, I'm surprised. I mean, whenever you can keep moving without having to stop and unload a bale, I think that usually means you can get it done faster. So that's what we're doing here. I mean, I'm just pouring it on. So yeah, we're doing good, and nothing has broke on me yet. So 2 more points for that. And now we're getting to the part of the field where it's kind of better, if I say it that way, because we don't have these huge hills to climb anymore. The tractor takes it a little easier going up the field this way. See, check that out. Except for like right in here, it kind of slows down a little bit right here, but everywhere else is pretty smooth rolling, and it's nowhere near like the 2 miles an hour that we got over on the edge of the field over there. So yeah, really happy with that. And I do think the seat point of view, like first person, is actually really cool when you're baling small squares. The way you can lean over and look at the row being picked up, I do like that. That's pretty neat. I feel like it saves a lot of strain on your neck turning around 180 degrees to look right behind you, so that's nice. Oh, and we did pick the loader up just a tad bit so we could see a little better, see the front of the hood, so we can position ourselves on the row better. I feel like that was part of the reason we were missing so much, but you know, operator error, it always is. But even if we do get to the end of the field on one wagon load, we are going to be cutting it extremely close. Hopefully that means this tractor can actually handle that, because it's been a little underperforming in the field the whole time, so I don't know. And as soon as we get to the end of this pass, we have 2 more, and we can head back to the farm. Job well done. I'm actually a little happy that the farmers decided to keep the small square bale set up on the farm, because I don't really feel like I see as many small square setups anymore. I feel like everybody's either running round bales or the big bales, whatever. I don't even think they have a name. They're just big square bales. I don't know. I like this method of baling, and it's growing on me so much now that I've actually out here in the field doing it. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see some haying content with the small square baler. And here we go. Our last pass down the field. See how many bales we get at the end of here. I'm assuming it's gonna be like 139, somewhere in there. I feel like we could have gotten some more wheat off of this field. I mean, I assume this is how much straw we were going to get. But next year when we have more wheat crop, we'll definitely bale more straw and have more of it. So, yeah. I mean, we only got 130 whatever we're about to have bales. We only made 26,000 off of wheat this year, but the more we do it, the more we expand, the more we'll earn. So just keep that in mind. If it looks like we're hardly making anything right now, it'll increase as we go, which I think everybody should know that. That is how the On the Map Challenge works. Everything will get, bigger, I guess. Oh yeah, and then we do need to unload these bales if we can. Probably gonna need to hop off and throw them on the wagon manually. And I think now we should be good to fold it up. Okay. Now we can head back to the farm. There we go. We got 142 bales out of that, so I'll take it. Not too shabby at all. And now I guess we got to figure out for a place to put this, which I know I said the barn, but we kind of need the wagon for round bales, maybe, which, you know, I guess we could do some shopping for a trailer, so we don't have to use the wagon. If we had an actual, like, hay trailer, I feel like that would be pretty nice to keep around the farm for a little while, but I think they only hold like 8 bales at a time, and I don't know. Let's get back to the farm and then we'll kind of look around and see. And you know what? Now that I'm kind of thinking, maybe there's some space in the 3-sided shed over here to set them for the time being, like until we need them, because we don't even have calves yet. So, but we do have this spot in the barn here. We'll put them in the barn. So let's just unhook this and we will put the square baler back where it goes, and then we'll put the see, this is the only problem. I don't ever know where to put anything at. About right there looks good. We'll drop that off and then we'll turn around here and we'll grab that wagon. I'm gonna try to fit them in this corner right here, but if we don't get them in here, it's quite alright. We'll find another spot for them. And you know, I guess we could unload them and then set them back on the trailer after we get done bringing the round bales in. We could do that too. But I don't know. Will these fit in this corner? That's the only question I have. I think that worked out a little better than I thought it would. That is pretty darn perfect. I will take that. And then we'll leave the wagon out. I'll set it over here until we need it. Okay, so let's put the tractor on the tedder because we are gonna hit the hayfield in just 1 second. But before we do, I am gonna grab something to eat real quick for lunch, and then I will head back out here. So I'll get it hooked up and we'll park it under the tree in the shade over here, and we will start this field, get it all fixed up for raking and baling tomorrow, and then we'll head down to that other little pasture or field and get that tedded up too. So alrighty, I think that is us done for the morning, and I'm beyond happy with how perfectly that fits in here. I mean, check this out. It's not up against the wall where we can't reach it. It's not up against the wall right here where we can't reach it, and it is perfectly out of the way so we can drive stuff in here. So I think that's enough for me for the morning. I'm gonna go eat some lunch, and I will catch back up with you guys when we start tedding in just about 30-ish minutes. So yeah, I'll see you guys then. Alright, so now that we got that all behind us, I guess we can head out to the hay field and we can get some of this hay tedded. Got the tractor already here waiting at the field for me, so yeah, we can just turn it over, we can get started. I don't see a problem with that at all. I just need to make sure everything's the way it's supposed to be. I think it is. And then we can just turn it on and let it go to work. We can hit about 2 rows at a time running this tedder, so it does a pretty decent job. It's a little bit bigger than we need it to be, so I don't know. I was just trying to figure out if we could get like 2.5, but no, two rows is our limit with this tedder. I think it's perfectly the same size for them. But some of these rows, I mean, they are kind of big, so we're gonna have to kind of skip a few, like little pieces of hay won't get tedded in the first pass around. We'll have to come back and get them in the second. But so far so good. I mean, we aren't really missing anything, so that is good. And I think the reason these rows are so thick right here is because this is before I set the crimpers out and open the door up a little more on the hay bind, because you can see the difference in the rows. We've got the ones when the door was wide open and when the door was closed. And really the only reason I did that was because it was so rough. Farming Simulator 25 is like really rough grass whenever you're doing hay work. I don't know if you noticed how bumpy it was, but that, and if we ever decided to just bale it straight out of the field, I mean, when would we ever do that? But I do like the smaller windrows a little bit. It makes it a little harder to ted on, because I mean, you look at this, we're getting a nice even spread of hay out behind the tedder. But when it comes to the thicker, or the bigger rows, but they're like taller, not just thick like this, it kind of doesn't spread it out as even, and there's still clumps of hay where the rows were, if you kind of get what I mean. But this is working just fine. We'll see about it. And I don't think I need to mess with the tedder pivot anymore. I was thinking about making it shoot the hay out a little more, but I think it's doing a pretty good job, so we'll keep it just like it is and keep it running. And I really enjoy this field, doing hay work or just arable crop off this field. I've always loved it. It was one of my favorites back in 22, and if you guys remember in the last On the Map challenge on here, this was not one field, this was 2 fields, and I feel like everybody who did the On the Map challenge combined these 2 fields right here. And I guess the map author just decided to make it one field because everybody was combining it. I was even thinking about buying something to tear down the trees and everything with, the tree line, so we could combine these 2 fields again, but he'd already done it. So, you know, it's pretty slick. I like that. I love this field. I think that the way it looks like this when it's combined is awesome. It's just the perfect shape. I love it. And it comes beside this pond right here. Alma has some really good looking fields, so yeah, I'm all for it. Alright, now we'll just yeah, let's pick it up right here actually, or else we'll sling it into the grass we don't have cut, and it'll be kind of hard to rake it up out there outside the field boundary. But I tell you guys what, I think we go ahead and we get these fields tedded up real quick. It won't take us no time at all. I say we knock them out, and I will catch back up with you guys as soon as we're done with these fields, which could be tomorrow whenever it's time to get the hay up. It could be today. We could go pick up a new purchase or something already. So I don't know, we'll see, but I will meet up with you guys as soon as we're done with this field, and yeah, let's get right to it. Alrighty, so it's been basically a full 24 hours because I woke up this morning to it raining. At about 9 o'clock it rained till 11, and now I've been in the shop all morning organizing, but this is the first time I've been out all morning to check the hay, see if it's kind of dry enough, and it really does look pretty good to go. So I think we're going to be running the Magnum on the rake, because even though we got some rain to try and push some of this dust down, I really don't know how dusty it's going to be out here. So, and I also do just kind of want to run this tractor. I mean, it's not even super hot outside, so we don't have the biggest need for air conditioning or whatever. I just like this tractor a good bit. But it rained, not hard, but just enough to say, hey, we don't need to be out in the field right now making hay. So it's finally about good enough for us to head out this way and get this stuff up. But we might just do some raking because I don't really know how long this is going to take us. But we will get right to it. Go ahead and set it down and get to work. And yeah, this is pretty dusty, even though we got a little bit of rain on it. And my word, what a big windrow. So yeah, we're probably going to have to go a little slower with the round baler. And I really don't even know what tractor to run the round baler on. I don't think a single tractor on the farm has a bale monitor in it, so I don't really know what he used to run with the baler, but I don't really know. Maybe there's a bale monitor laying around and I just ain't found it yet. But I'm sure we'll stumble upon it eventually and put it in the tractor. But it's not in the 8300, which that's overkill. It's not in the 4250, and I don't think it's in this tractor unless that's what that's for, but it doesn't look like it, so I don't really know where it's at. And if I had to guess, he probably baled with this tractor because I don't think he would take the duals off of the 4250. Now, the duals have been on the 4250 for a while. I can just kind of tell. I don't think they've been off in a little while, so I'm just going to assume he baled with this tractor, and maybe I just ain't set it up right, but that's probably the bale monitor in the cab right there, so who knows? We'll play around with it a little bit and see if we can figure out something. But I mean, this stuff's ready to go. So we do have some more rain on the way. I would like to bale this like right now and get it up out of the field. That's the plan at least. So yeah, we're gonna fly through this raking session here. I didn't actually realize how decent size this rake is. I mean, we're gonna be out of these fields in literally no time. There's the first pass around the field. Let's try to meet these up real nice without missing a bunch. And oh dang, I cannot believe that I went around the field first. I was gonna try to rake the passes up and down and then get the rest of it. So that was a little bit of a fail. Did not mean to do that, but it's all right. We'll do it on the next field. You know, you have to make mistakes to learn. So, but I guess we'll come straight through here, and then we'll go get that down there in just a second. Yeah, I've kind of found out that it's kind of easier to rake up and down the field and then go around your headland passes like once or twice. It just makes the field look a whole lot neater. I'm sure you'll see what I'm talking about in a little while whenever we rake and it looks all terrible because I'm like raking some of the end rows off. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking straight doing that, but it's all good. It's all going to the same place, so hopefully it's not a big deal. Alright, pick it up, and then we'll turn around here. Hopefully it won't do what I said it would. Alright, there we go. No hay was grabbed from the end row, and we're all good. And so to talk a little bit about our beef cows, well, I'm not too sure when we're supposed to go get calves. Sometime in the near future. I was honestly thinking sometime around December. I don't know if that's actually when you buy them, but I don't think there's a way I can see in the menu of like a price or when you're supposed to buy them. But I was thinking around right after fall harvest, whenever we've got a little bit more money, because I don't know if they're cheap. I usually just buy. Yeah, I don't know. So we'll have to see about that. I don't know. Okay, there's our headland passes. Let's start our passes up and down the field, and I guess we'll just start it right here. I think should be alright. I don't think there's any reason to turn on GPS, so I think we can just kind of cruise up and down here, eyeball it a little bit, because who needs GPS running a rake? I know I sure don't. That's kind of ridiculous. And while we're over here, I think let's kind of grab this little spot right here. I don't know what the best way to approach this would be, but I guess something about like that'll do. And that's what I was talking about right there, wherever I said I pick it up and it kind of grabs the end rows. So that's why I rake the passes up and down the field first. So little bit annoying, but we get through it. We'll go that way for that one, and then we'll come like this, and then we can just kind of turn around and grab that. Alright, looks pretty terrible, but I do see how we're going to get all that up. And then now we kind of need to follow this down here like we would have GPS enabled, and then you know what, we can just drop it down about right here, and yeah, I think that'll be fine. And then we might as well rake this up while we're down here. Gee whiz, I'm not very educated at raking. I'm not the greatest at it, but I do get it up in time. I just feel like I don't execute it right. Like I feel like I grab from the wrong row and there's too many rough spots, and I don't know, but it's all good. Try to get this in one big old sweep. Just about. I'll count it. I mean, man, this looks actually really good. I can't wait to get this up and put some hay in the barn. I'm excited. I feel like we've done so much already in here, and we've hardly been in here for what, a few months. We're doing good on the farm so far. Alright, so here's all this down here raked. Now we'll actually get the majority of the field done, because we've cleaned out those little points at the edge of the field where it kind of dips down towards the woods. So that is all good. I think I'm just going to leave the rake down. We'll pile this in here with it. Oh, that's probably not a good idea. That is one thick row. But look at that. Perfectly good. I do kind of have to come this way a little bit because I wasn't straight when I came down through here. But yeah, there we go. Alright, set it back down and we'll head down the field again. And I really think we're only going to have about 5 more passes down the field. I mean, this is not terrible whatsoever. I think we're getting 3 rows at a time, like when we were cutting with the hay bind. So it's a pretty big rake. I can't get over it. It's a 12 wheel rake. Is that how you say it? 6 on each side. I mean, that's pretty big. Oh, and since we're kind of on the topic of buying things just a little bit, I was doing some more thinking because, you know, that's what I do, but I figured we'd buy like a little side-by-side or something to have around the farm, like maybe a little John Deere Gator or something like that, just to kind of have around the farm, drive, transport little things like the square bales from the barn to the calving shed. I mean, we could use our truck right now, but it would just make things a little bit easier to have it fit in the gates easier and stuff like that. I know there is a Kawasaki Mule down the road that's for sale that looks pretty slick, so we might have to make an offer for that. But just a little side-by-side, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, or a four-wheeler. Either one of those, just to have, put something on like a bag or two on the front, the back, or the tailgate, whatever. I think that'd be pretty slick. And well, we are about done with this field already. Took about no time, and we'll just pick it up and we'll go hit that little field down there. It's going to take hardly any time at all. Also, it's going to take way less time than this field did. And then I guess it's time to pull out the baler and see if it is actually in working order or if all the belts need to be replaced or something like that. Haven't even given it a run for its money. So if it doesn't work, like I said earlier, we do have the square baler to make some square hay, which I would like to run the round baler a little bit, but if it's not working, it's alright. So we'll get these 2 fields raked up, we'll park the rake, and then we'll get in. I'm assuming we'll just bale with this tractor. I don't really know for sure, but that's probably my best guess, because my second best option is the 4250, but it's got duals on it, and I feel like it's probably a little bit of a narrower frame, so I don't really know what we could bale with. I'm assuming this tractor. I'm kind of thinking long and hard, and I'm pretty sure that monitor in the tractor that's not being used for anything is the bale monitor, so it's probably a smart idea to bale with this tractor. And I feel like this is more of like a haying tractor anyway. I could be wrong. I mean, obviously it's for whatever in the world you want it for, but the way it's just kind of set up, it seems like a haying tractor. I don't know, like what we're doing with it right now seems like what it's supposed to be used for. Could be wrong, but it's definitely a workhorse. I mean, it may not be the most horsepower under the hood, or it may not have the most horsepower, but man, it looks good running the rake and everything else we've put it up against so far. So, and it's handled everything so well. So, yeah, honestly, we'll probably slap it on the baler and call it a day. Looks like this is going to be our last go down the field. I mean, we'll have to come back here and get that little piece we missed, and then we'll head to the next pasture. But I mean, this is look at this. This is pretty awesome. We got the perfect amount of hay in here to rake up, and then it's getting narrower, so we're gonna have to be a little careful down here. But we should have plenty of room, and we'll have this field raked up and ready to be into round bales or square. We got to see if it's actually working right. Ooh, cutting it very close. I mean, it just fits in here. All right, there we go. That's probably good. We'll turn around here and get this up at the top of the hill, and I think we're good to head to the next field because, yeah, we are. We already got those little spots down there, and yeah, awesome. I mean, that's got to be record time or something. That was really quick. We got that field done. And then we're going to have to set it down about right there. Alrighty, we'll just lift it up. We'll just drive right down here. It's hardly even far away. We've got all these trees cleared out so we can make a move right into here. And I'll be a little smarter this time and rake the passes up and down the field before the headlands. So we'll see how that works. Let's do that real quick actually. Or yeah, let's start about right here. We'll drop it down about there. This field's a little bit dustier than the last one was, so wonder why that is. It's kind of strange, but yeah, this field is sure enough a little dustier. And I think there's a little more hay on the ground, so that's kind of cool to see. I think this field has a better yield than the other one, so that's pretty interesting. Even though it's a little bit smaller, I think there's more hay on the ground here. We'll see what's really better when it comes time to test feed quality, so don't hold your breath for too long. But hay is hay, and this stuff was already here whenever we bought the farm, so it's obviously been drilled previous by the previous owner, so he must have some good ground and seed types. Alright, so far so good. I think this actually might be faster than doing it the way we did in the other field. I don't know, this is working really well. Maybe you guys can see what I'm talking about now whenever I say rake the passes up and down and then go around the field, because it tidies it up a whole lot better. And then you see we're leaving only one little pass, so there's actually something to rake, and we're not just going around the field for no reason. There's a little bit, just a tiny pass to rake up. And then whatever rows kind of go into that pass around the field, like say for instance this right here, if I kind of went all the way, well, we can just rake that up into the headland pass. And I just hit a tree. Probably need to be a little more careful where I'm going. But just give me 1 second, you guys will see. I mean, we've only got about a pass up and down the field, and we're going to be out of here. I mean, seriously, this field is only, I think it's like 1.8 acres, maybe almost 2. I think I said 1.8 in the last video. So yeah, it's something around in there. It's not very big at all, but we'll still probably get around 9 rolls of hay off of this, so whatever helps. Alrighty, I don't actually know if that's enough to go around the field over there, but now we'll make the pass around, and as you can see, we're just raking anything we missed in here, and any of the end rows get piled up in here. Any sort of hay in the middle that we missed gets raked up like this, and yeah, it definitely keeps the field, in my opinion, looking a little more tidy. So I think we need to rake like this from now on, and I need to remember it every single time. This right here is going to be a little awkward to grab because we got to kind of go out in the driveway, but there we go. All this down here is a little bit big, but I think it's doing pretty decent. Okay, there we go. All done raking. Can't wait to have a bunch of fields of hay to do, so we're just like spending all day cutting hay, and then the next day we're spending all day tedding and raking and baling. Maybe the next couple summers we'll have a bunch of fields of hay that we'll have to cut and everything, but I think as soon as we start buying more land, I'm going to turn this field here to my left into arable ground, because I think the soil here is going to do really good with corn and wheat. We may not put a lot of beans on this field right here, but we can always put hay in another field, and hay does basically the same in whatever field you put it in. So we're probably going to be turning this into corn or something here real soon, but for now hay is doing us just fine. Now we can go and grab the round baler, and we'll get some hay going. Oh, I'm pretty excited for this. Okay, let's pull it out. We got 2 rolls of net wrap in here, and we are doing 5x6s, so these bales are going to look a little bit bigger, and that's because they are bigger. Okay, everything seems to be working good, and so far so good. Oh yeah, we are baling hay. Check this out. Time will tell when we unload it, but so far everything looks pretty good. Oh, this one's probably going to dump out on the hill, so we need to make arrangements so it won't roll away. Alright, first bale. Let's kind of dump it to the side so it won't roll away from us. Let's see if it's... Oh yeah, there we go. Don't even know why I doubted a deer round baler. I think that did pretty good. Cut it back on and we'll keep going. I'm trying to hurry up and get this out of the field because I do want to put this in the barn before it rains. Because I don't know how, I think it's like a 70% chance of rain tomorrow, which is not the end of the world, but it's supposed to come down all day. I feel like it always rains in October. I mean, if it's not the start of the month, it's dang near the end, and it just pours like all month long. But maybe that's just me. I feel like April and October get a lot of rain, but I'm not just saying that because it's going to rain in October. I have this feeling that it's like that every year, because every time corn's ready to get out of the field, it's raining, and every time hay's ready to get cut and planting season's here, it's raining. So it's really hard to manage your time and fit in stuff whenever the schedule you're working on is always against you. But we have had some really nice weather here recently, so I can't complain about that, I guess. Alright, let's dump number 3 out at an angle so it won't roll away from us, because that is a little bit of a hill. Oh no, we're all good. And I do like these collection wheels or whatever. I mean, I can tell they're working. I mean, the row's just a tiny bit bigger than the pickup, but these collection wheels are raking it in. I don't know if you can see that or not. That's pretty neat. I do like that. And these bales are just coming out. That's number 4 right there. So yeah, we're doing some good here. We're gonna start feeding rolls of hay here soon because the pasture is gonna start dying and the cows aren't gonna have as much to eat. But all summer and into summer here, they've been feeding off of I guess the meadow as it's called in the game. So they're eating without us even feeding them rolls of hay, so that is pretty slick. But in the next couple of weeks here, we're going to have to start feeding them. Or not weeks, I guess we could wait a few months. But I do like feeding the cows hay, so I'm looking forward to that too. I mean, I enjoy basically every aspect of what we do here. We're already full again, so we got 6 bales on 1 pass around the field. That means we're going to have about 12 when we hit this other headland. And then I'm thinking it's probably going to be about 1.5 every pass up and down the field. So we're going to get a good 20 bales out of this field. Or no, definitely more than that. Probably going to get 25, almost 30 maybe. That's my guesstimation. Actually, you know what? Let's put in, I'm going to say we get 29 bales off this field. We will see how close I am. But, you know, if we're way over, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I'm not going to be mad about that. You can never be mad about getting a guess wrong on hay, because you know, the more the merrier. So, with these being the only 2 fields of hay we have, I don't really want to spend a bunch of money buying hay. So this is all we've got to work with through winter. So, give me all you can, please. And we'll tidy up this little corner right here real quick. See if we can cut this corner here. There we go, that'll do it. Or well, nah, let's spin around and get this little piece right here. It's gonna bother me because that is a good bit of hay missed. Alright, now we'll get this right here. And I think this is tied into yeah, it is. Okay, so this is the second headland pass, so we'll just go around the opposite way here. And I mean, some of these bales right here, we don't even have to put on the wagon. I mean, they're so close to the farm, we don't even have to worry about it really. I mean, I don't really have much going on here until fall harvest starts, so just haying and messing around with on the farm here, but until harvest starts I don't really have anything going on. So I might just put these in the barn 2 at a time, because I do have the spear that has like 2 on it, so I can bring 2 in at a time. But that's a few trips back and forth. I mean, if we really do get 30 bales, that's only 15 trips. That's not the worst thing ever. I don't know, these bales are not very far from the farm yard at all, so we might not even load them on a wagon. Actually, yeah, that is kind of a crazy idea. Let's just take them back and forth. I don't really have a problem with that, I don't think. And if I can find one of those 3-point hitch spears, then we'll be able to carry out 3 at a time, and that'll be something for sure. And honestly, I think a 3-point spear would help feeding, because if we put 1 in each pasture, well, we've only got 1 pasture right now, but if we ever were to expand, we'd need some more, hay. Well, that's not a great argument because we could just make more passes back to the barn or whatever. So, and I didn't even think about this, but the three-sided shed over there, the shelter, is kind of empty. So we could put some of this hay in there for right now because, trust me, I do very much enjoy having a pull-through shed right there, just to pull something in like that shelter. But I know that it's for bales is what I would like to keep it there as, so I want to put hay in it. None of our other sheds are pull-through, so I don't know, I just like having that to bring stuff in. Like, say we were out at a field with the wagons and it started raining and we don't have tarps on the wagons, so we could just pull the wagons in the barn, keep them out of the rain instead of having to back them in one at a time or whatever. We could just stick them in there and then pull them out the next day, whatever, something like that. I don't know when in the world that would ever happen, but it could. Alright, now we'll grab all this down here, and I think this should be the headlands done, and then we can work straight on to the passes up and down the field, which there are a few more of those, so that's going to take a little bit more time, but we're doing really good on this so far. I think we've got 12 bales out so far, if my counter's right, my counter being my head since the bale monitor is not working yet. Still a black screen, so yeah, not real sure. You know what, I think let's do a little in-cab baling. I don't think that'll really hurt anybody. We'll come back for that little strip right there. Let's get this up first, and then we'll come back for that. So, just not noticing there's no road marker on this hood, unless it's farther up and I can't see it from here, but seems a little strange to me. I don't know about you guys, but it's a good thing there's GPS in here, because if I was running a planter with this tractor, I wouldn't be too happy about there not being a road marker. Well, that is without GPS, because you really need those. I don't think we're going to have to skip any rows. We can kind of turn a little tighter with this baler. So we can just swing here, and we can make it to the next pass about like this right here. And there we go. But we will have to stop to let the bale out of the chamber. So that is something that will be happening. But yeah, everything we've done so far has gone extremely smooth. From cutting hay, cutting wheat, baling straw, now we're getting hay up, raking, tedding. I mean, we've had a really good start here on Alma. Now within the next month, the corn's going to be ready, the soybeans are going to be ready to get out of here. So time will tell, is this going to be a perfect start to the On the Map challenge here? Honestly, I'm going to say it may not be perfect, but it's going to be awesome. I feel like harvest might give us some trouble, but I don't want to say that ahead of time. I'm knock on wood or something. I hope it doesn't, but I have a feeling it might. The rain, or the weather, it's not looking too promising. There's supposed to be a lot of rain when I'm feeling about harvesting, and I think about October 2nd is when we're going to be out in the field. So it's been real lazy around here recently, just kind of getting settled in and getting some hay in and stuff like that. Nothing too crazy. I know we did break the combine out one time, but fall and spring is when the farm usually starts going into like hyperdrive busy. So, and with us having cattle, hay, and row crop, yeah, we're going to have a lot on our plate. So we need to get all this stuff done while we can, like the hay and the straw and everything, so that we can focus everything on corn and soybeans. So we don't even have that many fields of them, but if you know, you know. It just turns really busy. And with us only having one person on the farm, it's going to be a struggle trying to figure out how we're going to get grain cart or the wagons. I don't know. We're going to have to think the whole thing through, but hopefully it will be light work and we'll figure it out. And I mean, in the time span from now until then, we could be hiring somebody else on the farm. I don't know yet. We'll have to see. But it is something that I have been thinking about, so it has not left my mind. But I think that's just gonna about do it for this episode, you guys. I mean, it's been a pretty busy one. The next few are gonna be busy too. I mean, we sold our wheat, so we got all that done, got the straw out of the field, and we finished off these hay fields. So I'm gonna keep plugging away at this, and then real shortly they're going to be up in the barn and we can start harvest. So yeah, that's a good place to leave off and expect in the next episode. So yeah, you guys, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. I personally am loving Alma. I'm probably not going to get burnt out on it super fast this time around. So yeah, I appreciate you all watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I hope to see you all in the next one.